Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Welcome back to Force Strategy Gaming. Going to be commentating a game for you today. Actually, a series between WhiteRa and Happy. So this is a Terran versus Protoss. This time we're starting things off here on Shattered Temple. There you have it. So yes, this is going to be a best of 3 series. In fact, I'm going to be casting a few series for you. Basically, I'm going to just try to knock out a bunch of recordings so that I have stuff for you guys over the entirety of the weekend. Also, there's going to be a couple strategy videos coming up and just a whole bunch of other stuff, so stay tuned. You will be entertained this weekend, I can assure you of that. I really want to make sure that I can start ensuring, basically, that I have content throughout the weekend, even if that means just basically working a little bit harder on Friday to make sure that you get all of that stuff. So we can see right now, Happy putting that supply depot right here on the corner of the base. Worried about the possibility of any sort of proxy pylon or any sort of shenanigans that may be going on in the back there. Just trying to give himself that tad bit of extra vision, if you will. We can see over here for WhiteRa. WhiteRa not doing anything out of the ordinary yet. Well, because there's nothing to be done out of the ordinary. This is something that I talk about time and time again. The fact that I need more things to discuss early game. Oh yeah, let's do a drink. Let's do a drink mix. Yeah, fantastic. We'll do margarita. You guys know how to make margarita? Probably not, unless you've been a bartender or you're an alcoholic, one or the other. So margarita is pretty simple. It's gonna be well, depending on how much liquor you want, about a half an ounce of triple sec or any sort of orange flavored liquor like triple sec. Another variation of that is also known as, well, I can't even think of it. What the hell is that? The hell is that called? What's wrong with me? I can't even think of it. So triple sec will work. I don't know. Man, this is gonna kill me. Grand Marnier, that's what it is. So there's triple sec or Grand Marnier. Basically, it's kind of like it's a liquor that has an orange flavor. In fact, a lot of times you'll even see some people not put that liquor and instead put orange juice in their margaritas. But anyways, about half an ounce of the triple sec and or Grand Marnier, and then also just some tequila. You've got all sorts of choices. There's Jose Cuervo, there's Sauza, Patron is a really high class one. Well, not high class, but it's just a more expensive one, if you will. But yeah, so tequila, about an ounce and a half to 2 ounces of tequila, and then about half an ounce of the triple sec and or Grand Marnier. Keep forgetting it. And then also just some sort of either margarita mix or sour mix, depending on what bar you go to or where you're getting that drink. That can actually change. Some places use sour mix, some use just regular old margarita mix, which is kind of like a limey mix. But anyways, let's talk about the game right now. WhiteRa has got a scout right outside the base here of Happy, but unfortunately that was denied because of those 2 Marines there at the front. And then, of course, we have this SCV scouting around from Happy. He is going to want to head out of there, though, as soon as the Stalker is anywhere near completion. Doesn't want to stay in there for too very long. We can see right now WhiteRa hasn't placed down any additional buildings. Just going to be sticking with this Gateway and Cybernex core until he actually manages to get that SCV out. SCV juking around the Zealot. Zealot not even caring. He's, in fact, just going to be heading towards the middle to join his pro buddy. So, yeah, not even too worried about that. We can see that Stalker still making its way on through. Only about 50% of the way done, but actually that's SCV is still deciding to pull out at this time. Doesn't want to stay in there too long. Doesn't want to risk it, basically. There's that next building. Looks like WhiteRa going to be dropping a robo instead of an additional gateway. So going to be maybe seeing a 2 or 3 gate robo. Either or is likely a possibility. Taking a look over here for Happy. Happy teching up very hard. Tech Lab coming down on the factory. Also has that starport coming on through. We do have these double refineries right now, so I'm almost going to say possibilities of a Cloak Banshee, given the fact that this bunker is here as well. That tells us that he's teching up hard. He needs to make sure that he can defend himself early on in the game. And what is this? 3 gateways. My God, WhiteRa. Look at this. 4 gates and a robo. So going to be doing some very interesting early game aggression here. With that robo and these 4 gates, I wouldn't be all too surprised if we actually saw a war prism either. We can see Happy trying to deny any possible scouts here. Going to be placing this bunker at the possible expo, that natural of WhiteRa. And actually WhiteRa, this is completely unbeknownst to him because he has yet to see this at this point. And look at that, war prism coming on through. So we're going to be seeing a 4 gate drop. Unbelievable. WhiteRa being incredibly aggressive at this point in the game. This is a little bit interesting. This is kind of really all in. He needs to do a lot of damage with this or else he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Now keep in mind as well, though, Happy is still on 1 base. You can see he's coming out with the second racks right now. They're really in no position to expand. He plans on actually moving out with these Cloak Banshees to do some damage, but is he going to do it in time? Look at that scout. Happy moving on in with that SCV scout. He actually spotted that war prism coming on through, and as a result, you can see sitting over here with those Marines. He's going to be doing a lot of damage. WhiteRa needs to be careful. He doesn't want to lose that, dropping all of his units one at a time and just tearing through. You can see how quickly these Zealots tear through those SCVs, but we do have the war prism on the high ground, completely out of vision, but there is a scan coming from Happy, managing to drop that war prism one Zealot got lost as that Warp Prism got killed as he was trying to warp on in, but still, these Zealots and the Stalker are going to be doing so much damage, forcing everything to pull right on down to this bunker just to try to survive and get the Marines inside of the bunker. Might as well pull back with these. This is a lot of units right now. Happy is not prepared for this at all. He does have the Banshee coming out, and once that is out, he's going to be pretty much all set. Should be able to drop the Stalker right away and then take care of these Zealots, no problem. But still, so much damage has been done right now. We can see 21 units killed, 17 of which have been workers. That is absolutely bonkers. Now, what WhiteRa just wants to do is just make sure he can still continue as much damage as possible. SCVs do manage to juke away, though, and it looks like the Banshee's going to kill off the last of this threat here. And wow, absolutely unreal. WhiteRa going to be actually transitioning here into some maybe Blink Stalkers. I wouldn't imagine Charge Zealots would make a lot of sense. And I'm surprised he's still staying on one base. I mean, he has done tremendous amounts of damage. He could definitely freely expand without too much worry at all. We do have this Banshee making its way on across into WhiteRa's base now. Happy does need to do some damage. He is so severely behind right now. Economically, he's just absolutely hurting. Let's take a look at that income tab for confirmation of that. Just look at that. That is a completely one-sided affair right there. It's just not really good at all for Happy. Happy needs to try to work up his economy, but at the same time, he's got to make sure that he's going to be able to defend himself here. Yeah, that was just absolutely unreal by WhiteRa. He just did tremendous amounts of damage, and it looks like he is, in fact, going to be following up with some Blink Stalker harassment, and this could be pretty much too much for Happy to handle. I can't really imagine trying to move in with that Banshee, but we do have this Observer right here. Looks like there's another Observer over here as well, so WhiteRa is fully prepared to deal with any Cloak Banshees that may try to move in. Happy trying to work on his Vespian again. We can see trying to get that saturated, but still, obviously, he's still, wow, yeah, he's not even going to try to expand. He realizes he's definitely going to defend himself. Going to be coming out the third racks to try to get enough bio out to deal with any possible additional push here from WhiteRa. We can see, of course, WhiteRa still sitting with these 4 gateways. That Robo's not doing a whole lot right now. Blink Stalkers, that Blink is just about finished. And actually, WhiteRa is going to be going for an Expo. That's really interesting, the fact that he's going for those Blink Stalkers and dropping that Expo as well. The only way that he can honestly really safely do that is just because of the fact that he did manage to do so much damage. And look at this, WhiteRa with the Proxy Pylon. Observer giving him vision of the high ground. He's going to start blinking some Stalkers up very, very shortly. We do have one Banshee in the back here, but WhiteRa should have no problem with this one Stalker. That Banshee is going to be forced away right now with that Observer. Unfortunately, yeah, he's not going to be able to do pretty much any damage at all. And look at this Blink Stalkers moving into the main base here of Happy. Happy forced to push down with the SCV. Stalkers blinking back. Does need to be careful, though. He can definitely take a lot of damage from these Marauders. Those Stalkers aren't that durable against those guys, especially with this SCV wall blinking down to the low ground. But in all honesty, even with this, I mean, look at this. Happy is still not mining that income tab, just completely one-sided. WhiteRa's just going to be able to continue to stream up units. Take a look at the army comparison. WhiteRa sitting at 30 as opposed to the 20, and that number is going to go tilt more and more in WhiteRa's favor as this game progresses further down the road. Still a ton of SCVs not mining here just to try to help him deal with this pressure from these Blink Stalkers. Should probably seeing some more warp-ins pretty soon. I think it's about time for him. There we go. A couple more warp-ins going down over here. He did have some guys in his main base as well to try to deal with any more possible Banshee harassment. That one Banshee it does have 5 kills, but still not enough damage, I'd have to say. Stalkers here on the low ground. Are they going to be blinking up high? Yes, they do have vision, so they are able to do that. There we go. Blinking up to the top here. Going to be doing a little bit of damage. There just aren't enough units here at all for Happy to actually deal with this. WhiteRa is going to blink back. There we go. Stalker peeling. That's exactly what you want to do. One of the main benefits, of course, of that blink research. And there is the GG from Happy. So what a game number 1 in this series of casting and this commentating a marathon that I'm going to basically be going on. Seeing WhiteRa open up with just some super aggressive, really, really strong 4-gate War Prism drop. It actually didn't even work out the greatest for him. Obviously, he did do a ton of damage, and the fact that Happy was teching up to Cloak Banshees helped him a bit in that attack. But the fact that he lost that War Prism so quickly, he could have done a lot more, and he could have basically won that game in that drop. But there you go. This is game number 1 in the series between these two players. Again, this is going to be a best of 3. So we're going to be moving on to game number 2 in just one moment. Remember, guys, if you like the content, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And as always, keep watching and keep owning.